I'd like to welcome you to another segment of Recovery Live Global. It's a beautiful day to talk about recovery, the community, and what's going on. I have with me today, and I'm your host, Jesse Washington. I have with me today a special guest by the name of Patrick Patillo. He told me that he was called to serve. And when he told me he was called to serve, I said, "Well, you invited." I just met him yesterday. I mean, we met yesterday, a few 24 hours ago, and he told me he was called to serve. He said he had some ideas for the community, a food pantry. He talked about Detroit. There's a hot spot here in Detroit. We talked about developing rapport, is how we get a chance to meet people where they at and things like that. So I welcome you, Mr. Patillo, to the show today, and we're gonna sit back and just enjoy this time that we can talk to not only Detroit but Michigan, not only Michigan but the United States, and not only United States but the nation. We are a global ministry, and we're talking to. We don't know who behind the camera. It may be some child out there that's ready to give up on his or her situation. And my prayer is that this show will touch somebody in a special way, that they'll say, I choose life and not death. Mr. Patrick,
Yes,
God
sir.
bless you today.
God bless you, sir.
Talk to us about your dreams and
Well,
where you want to go. And
first, I'm in recovery myself.
okay,
I'm in recovery. I've been sober 33 years. And, my sobriety date is October 27, 1988. And I thank you first for welcoming me. And some of the ideas that I have to serve our community, is, as we speak, we're building a soup kitchen, and I have it. I'm remodeling my kitchen. I tore down the wall and to extend it. I'm remodeling my kitchen to serve the community. Just come around to the back door and get soup, get something to eat. Particularly the children and the women, and but it's for everyone. And so I have that going on. In 3 weeks, we'll be serving.
that's interesting that you would say that I'm gonna take my house, what I live at, and remodel the kitchen, and then invite the community, the neighbors, the children, the women. Just come to the back door and eat. I mean, come to the back door and get a meal. That's some kind of directive, some kind of process. You know, a lot of people like be looking for a building or a commercial building and things like that to make this happen. And because they don't have that type of resource, they say, well, I guess I have to wait. But it seemed like you going forward with your desire and your dream. I mean, right there where you at, right
Yeah.
there where you was at.
You have to be pragmatic. You have to be simple. You know what I mean? I don't. If I waited for monies to have a big building and all that, it would never happen. So I have my kitchen, and I'm gonna serve the community with the kitchen with what I have. And another idea that and see, you never do anything alone. And if it's for the community should be involved in it. You know, and because if I'm not a part of the process, then I don't have any ownership in it. You know what I mean? If I don't have any irons in the fire, so to speak. And so I have this brother named James Jones, man.
Okay.
He's every time I framed this wall, he came to fix it. He came behind me and fixed it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And and the difference is he knows he's doing it for God. You know what I mean? Because I can't pay that man what he worth.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he knows he's doing it for God, and I get contributions from people that I serve with, and so and next after I finished, when the soup kitchen is up and running, I'm going to start a jitney service for right in my community. I don't want to serve everybody. I just start small, right in my little jitney service. Take people to go get their groceries, particularly elderly folk. You know, go get their groceries, which I'm one now. Go get their, you know what I mean. You know, get their groceries, their medication, stuff like something small just to serve where I live.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, so that sort of thing. And I have a couple of more ideas that small ideas to serve the people where I live.
Okay. Okay. In that area, where you residing at now? Are you on what area?
Okay, I live in Detroit, Michigan, on Burns and Gratiot on East Side.
Okay.
East Side of Detroit.
Okay. Okay. So that's a good place to be.
Yes, it is.
That's what zip code is that?
48213.
48213.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good zip code right there. So it's interesting that you would say that I want to start a food pantry right in my neighborhood, right in my community, and then I want to start a jitney. I ain't heard that word in a long time. They call them Ubers and some other kind of names
please.
now, but they jitney. We used to be able to go to the market and go shopping and get us a jitney to bring my groceries home or to come home. And you saying that you want to provide that type of a service for right there in your community, taking people to pick up their medications, taking them to the store, taking them to their medical appointments and things like that. Man, that sounds like God moving.
Yeah. see, we all have these ideas in our head of how to serve, but if you take your time, people they'll tell you what they need.
Okay.
And so you know you be enthusiastic and you trying to serve, but the people will let you know what they need and what you need to do for them if you listen to them and man, you gotta love us, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing that I know that God has given me is that you have to love us, man. You know, and God has saved me, and I'm grateful for it, man. You know, so I'm trying to give back. You know.
Wow. Yeah, that's something. And there's a lot of individuals that the Lord have saved, and they don't see the big picture. You know, God could have saved me and took me home the same day, but He didn't. You know what I mean? He didn't.
Yes, sir.
What the thief on the cross, He saved him. He went on. He went to be with the Lord that day. But the Lord didn't save me and then leave me for no reason. It's a reason that He saved me and left me here. And I believe that He left me here is to administer the grace of God to the people. And it ain't always administering the grace of God to people that look like me, believe like me,
No.
and talk like me.
No.
There's a population out there that need to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I believe that to see a message is stronger than hearing one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People
Yeah.
can say
Yeah.
and say and say and say,
Yeah.
but to see it is it's more effective when a person can see it.
Yeah.
Like I can say I love you, I got your back. I mean, I could say all that stuff, but if I ain't got your back, and if love have not manifested itself into some kind of behavior, then how do you feel the love?
Yeah. Keith Graham, who introduced us, he told me that you were a servant, and I said, yeah, okay, what you want me to do? So the two things you just said, but my great grandmother, My great grandmother used to say that. She said, "I'd rather see a sermon than hear one."
Yeah.
And she would tell me, "I'd rather see a sermon than hear one." She also used to tell me, I say, when I was about 19, smelling myself out my mind, I say, "Mother, you know, Jesus Christ was a black man." She said, she said, "Little Butch, it don't make no difference what color he was. You don't do what he say, no, huh?"
Oh, you
So that's
like,
that's folks the
yeah,
things you just said.
yeah, yeah. You
And
know, that's true though, because statistics says that we remember 12% of what we hear, and 35% of what we see. You see it. So and if you fool around and go beyond seeing and move over into the action, then if you engage a person, then they get it even better than just seeing it, because now they're engaged. Yeah. And so knowing that, then how do I take the gospel of Jesus Christ and put it in a form that I'm not just preaching it, but I'm behaving like it, that people can see it, not just hear it. And then how do people don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. Yeah, and in order for a person to feel how much I care, I got to be behaving like a Christian. I tell you something, that'll win somebody over more so than just telling them what the Bible said. Well, the Bible said, and the Bible said, and the Bible said. Wait a minute now. Come on now. What does the Bible say that we need to be a doer of the word and not just a hearer or a listener only?
Yeah, so we have just black folk, people of African descent. We have a spiritual designation called the pupil of the eye. You know, and we all know our spirit. Those of us suffering is you don't. And my daddy used to say, "Boy, they hung Jesus Christ. What the hell they care about you?" So you don't get something for nothing. There's no such thing as something. You don't automatically. You have to suffer to get salvation. You don't get something for nothing. Because if they hung Christ, so you know what I mean, for us, you know what I mean. So you get the point. The point is you don't get something for nothing. You have to go through something to get something in order to see something. You know, and you know, so it's and so the people that I'm drawn to are. This is the other thing. I'm trying to gracefully say this. It's like all this gangster. Hey, we not gangsters. We have limited resources. You know what I mean? You a gangster, you a thug and all this. No, you have limited resources, and you make decisions on those limited resources. We got this from TV. All this, you a thug, you a gangster. No, we not. You know, we limited resources and make good and bad decisions. And I'm speaking to myself first, and that is who I'm drawn to. You know, those folks are who I'm drawn to, and who serve, who serve, trying to give back too. They do the same thing everyone else does. We all trying to get close to God, man. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm talking too much, but I'm just
we want to hear it. We want to hear it. Now I've learned that sometimes in order to get a person to gravitate to what I'm talking about, they have to feel it. And then sometimes there's so many walls in between that till I have to develop a rapport.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
if I don't have no rapport with a person, it's hard for me to tell them to pull their pants up. You know what I'm saying? The guy was in a video game store playing the games. He was cussing the machine out. You know what I'm saying? And the gentleman walked into the restaurant where the machine was, and he said, "Excuse me, can you calm down with all that cussing and stuff, I got my baby girl in here. We coming in here to eat. And the guy shot them and killed him. He said, man, you don't know me. I'm minding my business. You need to be over there minding yours with your daughter. If you came in here to eat, go on over there and eat. It wasn't no verbal conversation. I'm just role playing the thought process. I can't tell nobody to pull their pants up and calm down and stop all that cussing. When I don't have a rapport, I don't have no relationship with the person.
Yeah, no, you can't.
So sometimes it's best to build a relationship. If I want you to kind of hear what I got to say, sometimes you ain't said good morning.
Yeah, but you won't. Yeah.
We've been passing one another, and you ain't even said good morning in 6 months. Now all of a sudden you gonna come and try to correct me about something that I'm doing or saying. That don't work. You gotta even being a clinician, I've learned that I have to try to develop rapport first before I could do interventions to get this person to see something or see this or see that or see. You gotta have a rapport. You don't even know me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So rapport is really, really important. And when we're talking about trying to show somebody a better way, you might have to take them fishing. You might have to buy them a hot dog. You might have to, you might have to do something tangible in order to get people to see, what we trying to do. If you want to have a real impact on the community, like you say, what you doing, you saying that soup kitchen is going to bring people that have a need, and you meeting the need. Now it's a possibility that you meeting the need. Then it's a possibility they might want to hear what you got to say about your God or about your righteousness or about anything else that you got to say.
My message is love yourself. So if my motivation is this, man. If we gonna help establish the kingdom of God on earth, we have to live righteous lives ourselves. You know what I mean? You can't go before the throne and you raggedy. You know what I mean? It's like, I may be raggedy physically, but if my spirit tight, then we can move stuff. And we the people to do it. And it's the time to do it.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So, and I believe that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we the people to do it. You know what I mean? We can't wait on, who you waiting on?
Okay.
We have to do this. You know what I mean? And we the people to do it. And that same boy that shot, cause he out his mind, he the one that you get and you and develop a rapport with him and love on him, and he'd be a soldier in God's army. Because and if we don't believe that, what's the point? He saved me.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, and I had a dope man tell me. He said, Butch, you like an airplane, no good on earth. So, and he
an airplane.
He said, but you like an airplane, man, no good on earth.
Yeah, he figured that out.
Yeah,
looking at you. No good.
No, I wasn't no good.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I wasn't no good. You know what I mean? And I told him, man, you the one got the sack. Well, how the hell you gonna tell me I'm no good? So, but he was right. I wasn't no earthly good, and I had no good intentions, and I was out there.
Yeah.
And God saved me from that. So that's why when people tell me they can't get sober, they can't do that, you lying. If you want to, you can get sober.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like you can get sober if you want. You know, and I asked God everything I ever asked God for. I got it. It wasn't like I thought it was going to be. And you got to work for it, but I got it.
Okay.
And I think some of it I didn't get to keep.
Okay.
But I got it.
Okay.
So, and that's how it is, man. I don't, ain't nothing magical. That's what I had to learn, that there's nothing magical about this. You know what I mean? You had to get out here and get it. You had to put the work in and love on folk, man, just like you want to be loved, man. So it's like, and it's not easy, but it's not hard. I mean, because you give what you want.
Wow. Wow. Now you said something right there. You give what you want. So what do you want? What you want from God? Are you willing to give it? What you want?
Yeah, because you got to bow down. And one of the biggest things in recovery and in life is like when you submit, you get your peace. You know, when you submit, you get your freedom. That's what it's more. When you submit your will to God's will, you get your freedom. You get freedom, and I didn't get that. It took me years. I still don't get it. But when I bow down, I get free. And it took me for the word servant used to repel me. I ain't serving no damn body because you know our history of serving white folk.
Yeah.
You know, so but I learned that there's no greater thing than service.
Wow. Wow.
It's all I can do.
Okay.
And you saying, wow, that's what you do, brother. That's you know,
I mean,
that's how I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, that's what you do, and you know, and that Keith was so excited, you know what I mean, that I wasn't in his office 3 minutes. He called you.
Okay. Yeah, I remember he called me and said, "I got somebody I want you to meet."
No, yeah, and it shocked me.
And it was the connection.
Yeah, it shocked me.
Yeah. It's a. He probably seen your path, and then knew my path.
Yeah,
And figured that if we was to connect, that we can go further.
yeah,
You know, a trifold cord is not easily broken. You know what I'm saying? The connection.
Okay, trifold cord. What does that mean?
I mean, that means that if you can, he's talking about like rope or string.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
one fold cord is easy to break, but if you wrap it with two cords, it's hard to break.
Yeah, I got you.
You could take a rope, and that rope can hold 80 pounds. One. Now you could wrap it with another rope of the same size. Now you would think that it would hold 80 and 80, 160. But it multiplies itself. Now it could hold 300 and something. You see what I'm saying? When if you take those ropes individually, they can only hold 80 pounds and they pop. But if you wrap them together, it go way beyond 160. It go up into the 300s. And that's why they say a trifold cord is not easily broken.
Trifold cord.
And the other thing with that, if I'm with somebody and I fall down, I got somebody to help me get back up. And then the book said something about that when two people are together, they won't freeze. They keep each other warm. It's something about two people joined together. It's just so much strength in that. Yeah. And I tell you something, if you ride with me, I do it because you roll with me. Yeah. It's something about somebody riding with me. Now I won't do it on my own.
Yeah, I got you.
But if somebody riding with me, I'll show you something. You know what I'm saying? Now it's about showing the love of God now. Yeah. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Even the enemy, when he gathered together, he get power with others like him. It's a force.
God almighty.
It's a force. Yeah. But when you got goodness and mercy together. Oh man, that's some power right there. So, even the biblical principle was they go out 2 by 2s.
2 by 2.
He didn't want them one doing, and you got to watch the relationships, because he said that we need to be equally yoked together, like have the same dreams and desires.
Equally yoked.
And you don't yoke an ox with a donkey. Yeah. Why?
Oxen, they two different.
Yes, because now ox walk like this. and a donkey walk like this. And if you yoke them together, the yoke is going to burn their necks. You know what I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
it's going to hurt them
Yeah, I got you.
because
Yeah,
one walking
yeah,
side to side and one walking up and
yeah,
down.
okay.
And if you yoke them together, they can't get too far
Yeah.
because the yoke gon' put blisters.
Yeah, because they
on
going all them
but
directions.
I tell you what, put two oxes together and they both doing this. Man, they could go further, plow further, and get more done. Like that. And that's, I ain't going to get into the marriage part, but that's what they talk about in a marriage, that you yoke two people together. Yeah. And like, if you got two believers, then they're a good candidate for trying to join together and becoming the one. Then a non-believer and a believer, you put them two folks together, they going to get blisters on their neck. Yeah, they're going to get the blisters on their neck. Wow. Man, but I feel so good, man. Man, do you know Recovery Live Global birthed out of the pandemic? I used to have support group meetings, and we used to meet in the basement of the church. We used to meet we had gatherings. We used to meet at the shelters. We used to come together. And when the pandemic hit, I couldn't risk it. Going out there meeting with all these people. So I turned my phone on, and Recovery Live Global birthed in my home office. It just birthed. I turned my phone on, pushed the button, and where I was normally at a meeting on Tuesday, I went live, global. And people start tuning in and watching the show and different things. And here we is today, 2 or 3 years later, with a actual Recovery Live Global show. And we've been had people on the show coming from all types of walks of life. I've had young people on the show. I had the elderly on the show. I had people in recovery from drugs on the show, people in recovery from gambling on the show, people in recovery from eating too much on the show, people in recovery from shopping too much on the show. So recovery, it's just so vast. It's just so vast. Yeah. And my purpose and my vision is to try, by the grace of God, to remove the stigma, off of the actions of human beings. To remove the stigma. There's a stigmatism as it relates to substance abuse and alcohol and mental health and shopping too much and eating too much. There's a stigma associated with that. To people don't want to tell nobody that they've been delivered. From whatever they thing was, because when you tell somebody that I've been delivered from certain things, they put you in a box. Yeah. I think this is a good time to go into our commercial, and we're going to take a few minutes to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Recovery Live Global. Well, you might be out there and you want to support the Recovery Live Global efforts. You can do so by purchasing one of our Recovery Live Global t-shirts. So I'm wearing one. If you look at it, it's here. We're moved into merchandise. So you can call us at 313-694-2140. That's 313-694-2140. And just say, hey, I want to support the ministry. I want to support Recovery Live Global by purchasing one of our Recovery Live Global t-shirts. And I had shared with those, if you live in the metropolitan area and you want a t-shirt, I'll deliver it. I'll deliver it myself. There's no cost for deliverance. So call us and purchase your Recovery Live Global t-shirt in support of the Recovery Live Global show. So, support us. Well, I'd like to welcome you back to Recovery Live Global. It's been good. I've been sitting here talking to Mr. Patrick Patillo, and he's been giving us some good information about serving and what his desires is with the food pantry and how there's hot spots here in the city of Detroit. I heard you talk about Mac and Bewick, and I heard you talk about, you know what I've learned? That a lot of times I'll be in different settings and people be talking about, I'm from Mac and Bewick, and I'm from Mac and Bewick. And they ain't really from Mac and Bewick.
Yeah.
But when they say that, like they going to get some kudos or something like that. Yeah, Mac and Bewick have always been a spot. You can almost get anything you want in
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
parking lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we used to say you can go up on Maccabeewick and get a plane.
Get a plane.
Yeah, catch a flight.
Okay. Yeah. So I really appreciate you coming and gracing the show today and talking about some of your desires and what you want to do with the community and your relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ and how you're a humble servant. And I mean, is it any closing, not closing, but is it any remarks? I mean, that camera right there is something. It's different. It's not like we're on a stage or stuff like that. But that camera right there, man, you'd be surprised who's looking at us through the lens of that camera. So is it anything that you would like to say globally inside of that camera that people could capture? You don't know who looking. It may be a senior citizen. It may be a kid. It may be somebody playing on their cell phone and just zoomed in to Recovery Live Global. The person may be in Nigeria. They may be in Kuwait. They may be all over the globe, and they done tapped in to Recovery Live Global. Mr. Patrick, what would you like to say or leave or talk about while you got this type of audience?
All right, I'll say, love yourself. Learn to love yourself if you don't. And the question becomes, how do I do that? Service. And when I talk to some of the men that I serve, you can't do unrighteous deeds on the planet and think you're gonna feel good about yourself. It's scientifically and religiously impossible to do. If you want to love yourself and to have peace in your soul, do righteous deeds in the earth. You can't do unrighteous deeds in the earth and think you're going to feel good about yourself.
Wow.
And that's how you stop whatever you trying to stop doing and be honest with yourself. And leave something on this earth except for burned fields, burned houses, and hurt babies, and unfulfilled women. Leave something on this planet.
You said a mouthful right there. Leave something. Yeah, because a lot of individuals say, well, I ain't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm doing, but I ain't hurt nobody. And, I had to sometimes express to people that people love you, people care about you. And sometimes whatever I'm doing, I'm affecting my neighborhood, I'm affecting my community, I'm affecting my children, my grandchildren, my spouse. I mean, you'd be surprised who you affect when you do your thing, and you be so selfish to believe that I ain't bothering nobody. And sometimes you don't see the effects and the waves of effects that you're having on others when you're doing what you're doing. So nobody is an island. Nobody is an island. So I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule today to participate in another segment of Recovery Live Global. Bless you, brother.
Bless you, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for
having me, sir.
Thank you for having. Thank you for coming. And this has been another segment of Recovery Live Global. I'll see you next week.
Step